I was caught in the center of an earthquake, a tsunami, and a volcano explosion in Mindanao. This is my survival story. 12 years ago, I woke up to my bed rattling uncontrollably, and seconds later, I heard a window smash. I quickly got out of bed and saw large amounts of water rushing into my home. Given that I was living in a small village in Mindanao, I knew the protocols for earthquakes and tsunamis. By the time I got to the door, the water was at my thighs and rising, and a shard of broken glass had flung at my face and lodged into my cheek. I was pouring red and used every ounce of my strength to open the door. I yanked the glass shard out, but just as luck would have it, a tiny wave catapulted a broken tree branch and hit me directly in the chest. I fell backwards and became submerged under the water. I flailed around but thankfully managed to get my head back above. The water was now at my waist, and I began swimming to reach higher ground. I somehow evaded harmful objects, but then I heard a deafening crash coming from behind. I turned around and saw a massive wave engulf my straw house and watched as the roof completely collapsed in on itself. I felt devastated watching my home be destroyed, but I had to keep going. I kept swimming trying to reach safety, and as I swam, something caught my eye. It was a large, dark shape moving through the water ahead of me. At first, I thought it was just a log or debris, but then it turned and I saw its eyes. My blood ran cold. It was a crocodile. A freaking crocodile was right in the middle of my street. I didn't think. I just swam. I pushed myself harder than I ever had before. My muscles were burning and my lungs were screaming for air, but the crocodile was gaining on me, and I knew there was no way I could outrun it in the water. I could feel it getting closer, and I honestly thought that was it. I was about to die. But then, out of nowhere, a boat appeared. I swear it was like some kind of divine intervention. This guy on the boat, who looked just as panicked as I felt, threw me a rope and pulled me aboard just in time. I collapsed onto the deck, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst. I don't think I've ever been so scared in my life. I was shaking all over, but I managed to thank the guy who saved me. When I finally caught my breath, I asked him if he knew the full scale of the impact on. He shook his head. No idea, but it's happening all over town. The guy told me he'd been rescuing people all morning, picking them up from rooftops, pulling them out of cars, you name it. He asked if I wanted to help, and honestly, I didn't know what else to do. It's not like I had anywhere else to go, so that's what we did. We spent the next few hours pulling people out of the water and getting them to safety. It was pure chaos. Some people were injured, some were in shock, and others were just trying to process what was happening. I can't even begin to describe the fear and confusion that went on. It was like everyone was in survival mode. While we were working, I noticed the guy kept checking his phone, like, obsessively. At first, I thought maybe he was trying to get a signal or check for updates, but then I realized it was something more. When I asked him about it, he told me he was waiting for a call from his wife. She'd gone missing during the flood, and he was terrified something had happened to her. My heart broke for him. Here he was, risking his life to save strangers while the person he loved most was out there somewhere, in potential danger. I could see the worry on his face, and it made me want to help him even more. I told him we'd find her, and that became our mission. We started searching and asking everyone we rescued if they'd seen her. I could see the hope